we take a break from boondocking and explore the coastal side of Maine. Did you know that Maine is the only state to share a border with just one other state? And that is New Hampshire. Also, Maine is known to have over 4,000 islands. Today, we get invited to explore a private island. We are super excited today. We have been loving Maine. A subscriber reached out to us and said, hey, are you still in the area?
And we are.
So I said, our family has a private island off the coast of Maine. We'd love for you to come out and check it out.
Yeah, we're like, sure.
Yeah.
Private island, of course, let's go.
So you can only get to this island one of two ways. One is to walk across at low tide or to boat across at high tide. So
it's low tide right now.
Almost low tide.
And we're gonna get an escorted tour out there by Marcus.
Yeah, and then we're gonna spend the afternoon on the island.
Yep.
And hopefully get a ride back at high tide.
Yeah, I hope so. Marcus.
This is pretty dang cool.
Yeah, this is cool. Real said hi. He remembers you. All right.
All right, Marcus, we got you on YouTube. Is that okay?
That's fine with me. My grandfather, Thompson Clayton, he was down in Washington, D.C. You know, he was a teacher down there. And so he wanted to start a boys camp in Maine. And so he had been to this island a few times just on the dare, because there was a old house on the top of it.
The haunted house, right?
Windows were all broken, and everybody thought it was haunted. So on a dare, he came over here and he just fell in love with it. He bought it for like $2,000.
$2,000?
Yeah.
Nice.
And opened up a boys camp on it. The house was on top of the island, and that was before the bridge. Bridge was 39.40, I think. You know, so everybody had to come across the Big Deer Isle. And then at low tide, this causeway wasn't here. You could drive on the sandbar. Over the Little Deer Isle. That was the only way.
So it was quite an adventure to get to, because it didn't have any bridges even to get close.
They were all they came in boats.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not sure where they put in, but you know, on the deep side of the island, they had sailboats that's how they came and went. And so anyways, he opened a boys camp. You know, kids would come from the inner city and be up here for the summer. And then so the state of Maine said he had to have a medical professional there if you're going to have a boys camp on here, so he had to hire a nurse. And so he advertised, and Lois Mills from Ohio answered the ad and came and spent the first summer that it was open, and they ended up falling in love, and those are my grandparents.
That is so cool.
So they had story.
So they had then they had 3 daughters, so that was the end of the boys camp. But no, in 1957 the house burnt down. He was burning brush, and I got away from him, and so the right on the water here, he had a boathouse, which we'd take boats out in the winter, keep them from being damaged by the ice and everything, which there used to be a lot of ice here. And so he just turned that into a cabin, and that's what I grew up in.
That's cool.
I was born in '69, so my whole life growing up, the day after school got out, there was 5 kids. We were in a station wagon with the chickens and the dogs and the cats, and we came here.
You spent the summer on the island?
Whole summer on the island.
Yeah. When you were a kid, were the rocks already here, or did you just wade across?
No, so my grandfather did that probably in the 1940s.
They have been there the whole time.
Let's go down through here.
That is a cool bridge.
Yeah. During storms, they do shut it down.
How come it's so tall? Do ships go under it?
Well, that's because of the Rockefeller. Their sailing boat, the mast was 75 feet. So, you know, they were they were paying for a lot of what happened in
Okay, that's
turn of the century and early 1900s. And they said you can build a bridge, but it's got to be so it's 90 feet between the water and they can get there 75 foot.
that's all
So we
right.
just kind of worked rope under one side, tied it under a boat, and then the other side, and did 4 or 5 different ropes, tied it up to the boat. And then as the tide went up, it picked the boat, picked the rock up. I mean, picked the boat up, and he would just wedge around it till it kind of let go of its suction, and it would just the tide would pick the boat up.
Yeah.
With the rock underneath it. He'd
Yeah.
row it over here and just place them in a row, and so you can have white tennis sneakers and walk across with dry
Now, if
feet.
I tried to do that, it would sink the boat.
Well, I mean, you'll see. It's a
Well,
pretty
not
big,
only that,
it's
he had
pretty
to
big
well
boat.
place these.
Yeah.
You know, it was under a few feet of water when he dropped them.
Right.
Did a good job.
Yes, he did. That's very impressive.
You can kind of see, like, I think he went to here. So a lot of these smaller ones have kind of sunk in, and we've had to replace them. You're just because they don't, with the other rock underneath them, they don't sink very far.
Yeah. Oh, I love the ferns.
See, when his grandfather was running the camp, this was all lawn.
This is a beautiful spot. It's like the sunset right there where the bridge is, and so at the end of the day, this is a good place to come.
This beach
Yeah.
right over here is called Garbage Beach.
That's where they got rid of their garbage.
The Indians would come and chuck their shells right down here.
Okay.
It's called Garbage Beach.
They're pretty nice. I got this guy.
It's green. Did you get him or
Finding
should
all
move
the
it too
different
fast? You see that
colors?
fish that keeps going right over the top of him?
Yeah. No, he's taunting me.
Thanks, Marcus. So if anybody ever asks you to go to their island, their private island, say yes. We had an amazing time. Gentry and Marcus invited us to their family island.
Yes, thank you so much.
And gave us a big tour. We got to go through these crazy cool trails that led to private sandy beaches. I think they had 2 or 3 different beaches on their property. A lot of different places that you could set tents up.
Yeah.
And explore. It was just
amazing. Yeah.
And Marcus even gave us a tour in the rowboat around the island.
Yeah.
So,
gracious host, thank you
yeah.
so much. And we are definitely happy campers.
Yeah.
And today we got invited to a second island.
Yeah.
So we'll be going to Islesboro Island.
Which is kind of cool because when I think of Maine, I think of all the different little islands offshore, but have never visited any until now. So we get to share these with you.
Yeah. If you're ever in this area, I highly recommend that you come to Deer Island and go all the way out to the end and check out Stonington. It is the cutest little fishing village I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's like a lobster village. All these lobster boats all moored up in the harbor.
And if you want to hike to your own private island, there is a preserve at the end. At low tide, you can hike to an island out there. It's a public island. And there's a quarry you can hike to. The area reminds me a lot of Acadia National Park. We were there earlier this week.
But without all the people.
There were so many people.
Definitely a hidden gem, right?
A hidden gem. Just the kind of places that we like. So if you like this video, give us a thumbs up.
Consider subscribing, and thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching.